Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're playing Blue-Black Dragon Control. I just had to make this video. The literally first standard deck I purchased was Blue-Black Dragons by Shota Yasuoka, who made second place in Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkir. It wasn't quite my first standard deck. My first standard deck was like Master of Waves Collected Company that I traded together when I started playing back then. Like Fate Reforged was the first time I went to the local game store, and then I really got into it, and then I purchased Blue-Black Dragons, which I think I played for some PPTQs, which are essentially the same as RCQs nowadays are back in those days. So the whole Tarkir Dragonstorm, the whole Tarkir set, the entire theme, dear to my heart, because those were the days when I started playing competitive Magic, when I played my first Grand Prix, and all of that. And actually, I qualified for my first Pro Tour with Esper Dragons in a standard Grand Prix in Paris. So yeah, I just had to make a video featuring the blue and black dragon themed cards. Back in those days, you had Silumgar Scorn. Now you have Dispelling Exhale. Both very similar cards. Yeah, I mean, very reminiscent, of course, of Silumgar Scorn, which was a sweet counterspell variant. And yeah, Caustic Exhale is an even better dragon payoff than we had back then. In black, we used to play Full-Tang Invocation. I'm gonna put a list in the description so you can check it out yourself. And yeah, Caustic Exhale is actually a really strong payoff. 1 mana -3/3 effect is very strong, of course. So and Dispelling Exhale is excellent as well. The one issue with this deck, if we look at, if you take reality into account, is that blue-black as a color combination, of course, struggles with, for example, the new Cory Steel Cutter artifact, difficult to remove, or Up the Beanstalk out of the main, difficult to remove, difficult to act with that. So I presume this is just going to be a little below tier 1, it's not going to be quite good enough. But I tried to make sure to have a plan against the top decks. I'm gonna take a look at the sideboard, and you're gonna see some of that to make this as competitive as possible, and we'll see if it will be. Talking about the deck list real quick, we have a couple duress and a couple intimidation tactics here. This is really a concession to Cory Steel Cutter, and duress to some degree to Up the Beanstalk, although Up the Beanstalk really has gone down, at least on the ladder on Magic Arena. I haven't gotten paired into Domain in ages. And yeah, those can take on turn 1 the Cory Steel Cutter, which is pretty huge. Intimidation tactics having cycle makes it also a lot nicer to include. I usually don't like discard spells in control decks because games go really long, and then at some point, on turn 8, 9, 10, a duress, opponents are empty-handed likely, and a duress won't do much. Tactics, at least at that point, when mana doesn't matter, you can just cycle it for 3 mana and get an extra card. So that's nice. The rest of the deck, I mean, we're playing a Change the Equation in addition to the Exhale. I think Change the Equation is a great counter spell. So there's a lot of red decks, and even against the non-red decks, it has targets. Counters Up the Beanstalk as well. Shieldred's Edict and a Blood-Out to respect Kaito. Kaito, of course, also a bane of control decks to go for the throats. 4 Stalk-Ups, of course, in here. 1 3 steps ahead. And then I'm playing the 2 big dragons that are clearly made for blue-black control. I mean, Marang River Regent is one of the strongest dragons in the set. Not only is it a card advantage spell, it's also a really strong, powerful creature. And then you have Scavenger Regent, which is a decent creature and a sweeper effect. So, I mean, these are the obviously good ones that we have access to in just blue and black. And as well as All Deep Gearhulk, which I think is just kind of a nice flexible card. Against the red decks, you can maybe take the way they can get through it out of their hand and then have a 4/4 lifelink blocker, which can be really good there. So I like that. And then against, control, mid-range decks, it's never dead. It will always take a look at their hand, take a card from it. And then you have this little bit annoying body. And because you're playing other dragons as well, something like a removal spell is actually pretty live against your deck regardless. Like if I would remove this from the deck, like a usual argument with a creature like All Deep Gearhulk in the main deck would be, oh, you're playing a creature now, you're enabling all the removal. But this Dragon's deck is enabling the removal regardless. So I think clearing the way for your dragons with the Gearhulk seems totally fine. That's the main deck. Maybe you noticed already at the mana base that we're really black heavy over here, and that has a certain reason. Notice the 4 Restless Reef going to the sideboard. I'm running 2 copies, 2 copies of Doomsday Excruciator in my sideboard without a Jace. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to play out, but my idea, of course, is to play a Doomsday and then to have Restless Reef in conjunction with the Doomsday to kill them on the following turn. Like Domain, you know, they have Beanstalk going, they have all their stuff going, but Doomsday just comes down, puts their library to 6, and then you can Restless Reef them out. That's the idea. You have 1 Cavern of Souls as well to help with that plan, or to make your dragons uncounterable, for what that's worth in game 1. I don't know if it's going to work out, but it's the best idea I had to beat Domain, and it's also the slot lightest, you could say. Like, you just have to commit so many slots to various other things that I didn't really feel comfortable including Jace as well in my sideboard. I just wanted, you know, different cards for other matchups. Like I want the Bailer for the Pixie deck. I want to Rest because that one's just really flexible. It can come in against, you know, Abuelo. It can come in against Jeskai. It can come in against Domain. Where Jace, you know, is more of, yeah, a card that comes in against, I guess, it's Jeskai and Domain, but, you know, the rest comes in against a lot of decks. Another copy of Cutdown for some removal. 1 copy of Ghost Vacuum, you know, makes sense. Change the equation, negate, couple more counters. 3 Tightbinders. The idea behind that, of course, more cards in the control matchups, but also maybe it is good enough against the Steel Cutter at being able to shut that off. I mean, I will try it. I will try to have that be my answer. I was thinking about things to play to deal with a Steel Cutter. And I think Tightbinder is, you know, one of the most reasonable options you have. You can play something like Filigree Silex. But yeah, I mean, your best bet against the cutter is that you discard it with the rest, or that you counter it with a 2-mana counter. That's I think the best strategy. Removing it from the board when it hit the board is rather difficult, and then, you know, Tightbinder can do it, I guess. But yeah. 2 copies of Phyrexian Obliterate also on the sideboard, a sweet one, a really cool card, and we are playing heavy black, so we can play it. And that thing, if it comes down on turn 4 against Mono Red or against, you know, Gruul, it's gonna be really difficult for them to win. It's a brick wall essentially. I'm not exactly sure if this is like that much better than Shieldred, because the one unfortunate thing about it is that it doesn't really turn the corner. It doesn't really like, it just sits there. Or in my mind, I think it just sits there and roadblocks them for the time being. Which might be enough, honestly. It might be enough to buy you all the time that you need to then take over the game with your other cards. While a card like Shieldred, you know, can just get Frenzied or Scorching Shot out of the way, right? And that's the issue with that. But Shieldred, on the other hand, does gain you life, does drain the opponent, even when it's not attacking, when it's just sitting there, right? And the Obliterator would just sit there and be sort of a brick wall, which might honestly be all you want. So there's that. All right, that is the Blue-Black Dragons list. Trying to make it as competitive as possible for the metagame with the inclusions of these 1-mana discard spells, which I usually dislike in control. The Gearhulk in the main deck, Tightbinders in the sideboard, Doomsday for Beanstalk in the sideboard. I don't know, maybe I'm stretching too thin here. You could certainly also play this more without the Gearhulk, with some colorless lands. There's something like the Blue Dragonstorm, for example, is interesting as a card you could run. It's sort of like the blue Beanstalk, I guess, with dragons. But you don't have that many dragons, so it won't come back to your hand that often, and your dragons are really expensive. It's kind of a fine card in itself. I mean, it's a charter course, essentially. So you could include that as a one-off. I guess you could also include the Dragonologist if you wanted to find more dragons and give them a little bit of hexproof. But paying 3 mana for 1/3 is pretty rough. And then another card that you could play is the land. This one, which I can't play right now because I'm committing to this Doomsday Gearhulk stuff and Phyrexian Obliterator. But yeah, I mean, this land, it does seem a little slow, to be honest with you. Yeah, you do get a dragon down the line, but I don't know. I don't even know if this is like much better than Blast Zone, for example. Like Blast Zone would be really attractive for blue-black because it does get rid of any permanent in play. So I don't even know if this card is that desirable. I don't think I'm sacrificing much by not having it. All right, well, that is blue-black Dragon's Control. Throwback to Shota. Shout out to you. You inspired me to play Control in Magic the Gathering. And it's, it's been a love since then. All right, well, enough introduction. Let's try this baby out. All right, let's see. I mean, I can do things. I have Duress, Exhale. I mean, I'm not gonna mulligan this hand. This is not a perfect hand or anything, but it's gonna be okay. No. All right, what a start. The double Duress opener into no targets. Ah, come on. What a brutal way to start off the video. Ah, okay, mulligan to 5, essentially, you say? Great. Great. Okay. I'm gonna save this exhale for the bat, but they will see that their Preacher is basically free to realm, which is not good for me. Yeah, I mean, having a bunch of cut downs and exhales in your deck makes 4 toughness free drops a little annoying. That's what you're gonna do, yeah? You wanna play a Siren? Alright, I'll let you have it. Oh. They have the Duress. Okay. Huh. That does make me wonder. Maybe I should play this now. It's like if they're gonna probably start their turn with Duress anyways. And if I draw another spell here, I would maybe want to cast it. I guess at this point I could just Duress them. Maybe they've drawn a spell. They haven't. But like, if they Duress me, at least, they won't hit anything anyways. Yeah. Okay, so now they can bat me and take a Gearhulk, and then I can take their Preacher, and then if I top deck Meringue Reaver Regent, any of my dragons actually, my -X/-X dragon is going to be fantastic here. I can also discard my own Underground River for what it's worth. I mean, you can cycle it. You can discard lands with this and target yourself. This Preacher, I mean, I'm going to be able to attack, and that will put me up on life. But if they make this a 3/5, I can't even attack. So if the map hits on the Preacher, probably fine to do this. It's not really card advantage, though. It's just taking it and replacing it with something else. Yeah, I mean, but now I have a lot of good draws. As long as they don't find, like, a Curiosity immediately. Or something like a Kaito. Okay, perfect. Let's hit my opponent. Do I play my lands? I don't think so. I might actually want to Gearhulk my land away next turn. I guess I'm just gonna kill the bat right here, right now. For what it's worth, like stuff like Go for the Throat isn't even doing anything right now. Just the Gearhulk is immune to that. I think I'm just going to target myself. My opponent's hand seems to be like cut downs and Go for the Throats probably. So I'm just targeting myself to dig towards my card advantage. Wow, I'm winning this game, huh? With the double Duress opener that did nothing. And to be fair, my opponent equalized with their Duress doing nothing. Like they drew something that they can cast, maybe? They have priority, maybe a Fairy Mastermind or something. Haven't seen Fairy Mastermind in a long time. The Gearhulk's just getting it done here, huh? Opponent is likely flooding, like, big time. Yeah. Okay, well, for game 2, we won't have the luck of them having a bunch of cutdowns in the deck they can draw. Okay. What do I even have in my sideboard? I can see the one cutdown and then maybe the Tidebinder, the Gate, Duress. Duress is a little iffy in the matchup. But it can take Kaito and post board. I mean, they have like a couple counter spells. Couple removal spells. Tidebinder, 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 Tidebinder. Maybe I want to have the Tidebinder. To change the equation can go. I guess I don't really have any terrible cards. I guess my worst cards here are these. Maybe the Gearhulk, arguably. The Gearhulk looked pretty good that game, I guess. It does line up kind of poorly into... yeah, I mean, Kaito, if Kaito's already on the battlefield, it's not going to be good, but also Curiosity is kind of good against it. I think I want the Tactics. They have a lot of creatures. Question is, do I want the Duress or the Tidebinder or Gearhulk? I don't think I'm cutting any of the dragons. I don't think I'm cutting any of these other cards. It's I feel like normally I would maybe cut the Gearhulk, but it was kind of decent this game. It is a threat after all that has to be respected. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think on the play I'm gonna swap the Duresses for Tidebinders. But I like the Duress a little bit more on the draw because I can snag Kaito. While this hand seems fine. While Tidebinder is just a little too slow against Kaito on the draw. But on the play, the Tidebinder can really well disrupt the ninjutsu. So, alright, sure. My hand is pretty resilient to Duress. I would think they take the stock up. Seems like the best card in my hand here. Yeah, no surprises there. I don't think I'm going to use this quite yet. I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just going to play Restless Reef, and then when I know what I need more, when I have more information essentially by an extra draw step, then I use the Surveil. Like for example, if I draw land, I will know that I won't need to draw. That I won't need to. Let's pass here. Okay, they have a flash threat. Okay. If I do rest them, I could hit Kaito. Or I can just cut down the flash threat. I think cutting down the flash threat is a little bit better than playing the rest. I think that's a little too clunky here. That also gives them another draw step to see another card that I could duress, you know? That's the idea there too. No. It's gonna solo me this card. Oh my god. Damn. What a punishment for playing Exhales. Ay. Oh my god. Yeah, this is just brutal. 4 toughness creatures are really good against my version of the deck. And that just happens sometimes when you like brew a deck. You miss something obvious like this. You miss that weakness and you're like, okay, well, I guess I lose. Man, I think I just almost have to do this to just draw some cards, get going. I think I have to do that. I'm like, this preacher is just gonna... Okay, there's a go for the throat. I think I'm just gonna ditch the duress at this point, maybe. It's just the weakest card in my hand. And if they have a Kaito, they can play it anyways here, so it's like my duress at this point is not doing anything. I guess I could take the counterspell that protects the preacher. That's something I could do. Okay, looks like they don't have a counterspell. A curiosity, yikes. I guess I can exile a creature though. Let's see. Oh, 1 turn too late. No, I just... yeah, it's the curiosity, like this matchup, probably not so good. Like the blue-black deck is, by the way, completely unplayable. Like this deck is absolutely unplayable at this point. Because it's terrible into the Izzet cutter deck. Like that matchup is horrendous for you. I guess I could kill off the Curiosity and then Regent these away, but they've drawn 2 cards in the process and they still have a Curiosity in play. It's a pretty rough proposition. I don't really know how I'm winning this game. Like, this matchup is really bad for me. Like, Curiosity is an absolute nightmare. Kaito is a rough card to deal with. I only have 1 blot out. This is a really horrendous matchup. But to be fair, blue-black midrange is one of the worst decks you could play right now, metagame-wise. Like, because it's so bad into is it cutter deck, which is like 25% of the Magic Arena metagame, it feels like. And hey, I can still win game 3. I will have Tidebinders on the play. On the play, I'm gonna feel a lot better against all of this stuff. So I could easily win this match. I'm just not gonna win this game. Yeah, this is also like the Gearhawk just rather unimpressive. Regent, if I would have been able to cast it, would have been really good here. I guess I'll stock up. Maybe I'll find a sweeper. Guess I'm stock upping again. The next turn I can maybe play the River Regent and stabilize. Take this. Yeah. Maybe I take Land Exile. So I can bounce 2 things. And then exile the Flood Pits. In the meantime, they've drawn maybe 3 more cards. Yeah. I'm trying to think how I get out of this situation. I'll just take both removals, whatever. I don't know. I think I'm dead. We'll see. We'll try. They did just draw so many cards. And my deck is kind of playing it fair and square, so like, I don't really have these crazy engines or anything that goes over the top. So I'm like pretty soft to all of this grindy stuff. Nice thing about the Meringue River region is that Duress cannot take it. That is actually a pretty important side bonus. Yeah, I mean, I guess it starts with this. It's I don't know. I feel like I'm just slowing down my own death here. We'll see. The Gearhawk also looks pretty bad. Tidebinder would have been better this game. Yeah, I need the Tidebinder for sure in this matchup. I'm gonna cut the Duresses. My opponent seems to be light on non-creature stuff. I'm gonna cut 2 Duress and 1 Gearhawk for 3 Tidebinders. And I wish I had some more go for the throats. I mean, I don't know, if I draw the Regent that gives -X and they commit a bunch of stuff to the board, maybe I have a shot at winning this game. After this game, I'm gonna change the configuration of removal spells. I think I'm gonna remove 2 cut downs for cheaper removal. Kill my guy, get 2 guys back. Draw another card. Yeah, they're just gonna outgrind me. They have so many cards on me. Alright, I think I'm good. Even if I draw perfectly for the rest of the game, I feel like I'm dead. Like, they've just the man land situation as well. I'm at 8. This is over. Okay. I guess I can play vacuum. Yeah, definitely have to play vacuum. I didn't even. It's been a while. I can play vacuum to remove the curiosity. All right. Maybe I want. I mean, you could run something like an Aclazotz. The sideboard is a little stretched thin. Maybe I just say I don't care about the domain matchup. You could do that theoretically, and you just don't play any Doomstays, and you can make room for some more removal that's flexible. An Aclazotz, like a reliable kill con against something like blue-black midrange. Regardless of how good the deck is in the metagame, people are still gonna play it sometimes. The metagame is just really wide right now. So many different decks. It's tricky to have them all covered with your sideboard, with your main deck. You do have to make metagame calls. And maybe you should rather lean into making metagame calls more than comparatively to that. Stretch yourself thin and try to have like 2 sideboard cards for each matchup. Like I'm kind of doing with this list. I don't know. But to be fair, like we might be beating blue-black midrange anyhow. You know, like we got really lucky in game 1 because they just had a really bad draw. And then if we have a decent draw here on the play, we might be fine. Stock up is a hell of a card. Pretty happy to see this hand. I don't really need that. Just looking for stock up and card advantage. They can bat me, but... Wow, yeah, I didn't even realize. Yeah, I can just cast it for X equals 1. That's so good here. Holy cow. Alright, yeah. I mean, this is how you roll. Just a 2 for 1 here. Meathook Massacre is back. Can't believe they banned Meathook Massacre in Standard. Can you believe that, guys? Meathook Massacre would be a sweet card to have around these days. Like, blue-black control is just not a thing. Blue-white is so much better. Realistically speaking, yeah, I'm playing a blue-black control deck right now, but, you know, the white removal cards are just awesome compared to the black ones. And if we had something like Meathook, you know, that would certainly sway it a little bit more in the other direction. Did I just play a 4/4 here? I think I honestly do. Oh, you drew a counterspell? Oh, you're just free-2ing me? Okay. This is a 2 for 1 if they want to remove it. And like my late game is not necessarily that much better than theirs because they have Kaito and Curiosity. So actually getting the game over with is, I think, desirable for me. Okay. That's a pretty good hand I have here. They have some sort of instant they can cast. I don't know what it is. Maybe another Tidebinder. I wonder what it is. Okay, it was another Tidebinder. You just didn't want to play it. So they can sack that Tidebinder now. They have 2 lands left. I think I want to get really aggressive and activate my Restless Reef here. Put him down to 8, 2-turn clock. Oh, I mean, choices. Draw free. Or aggression. Oh, I mean, they might have a counterspell. Nah, they don't have a counterspell. They would have countered my exile there. Man. I can't resist. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. The thing about the keeping the river region is also if I draw a 6th land at some point, I'm pretty. I'm looking good. Alright, they just drew 2 lands. Okay, beat the bad matchup. I'll change the list a little bit, but yeah, okay, nice, good start. Okay, yeah, I can move this. I added a third Go for the Throat over a cut down in the main deck. And which I might regret now. And I added an Anoint with Affliction over a cut down in the sideboard. Maybe I'm overreacting, I don't know. Yeah, the triple 1-drop start. Alright. This is exactly where blue-white still has an out, you know? Like blue-white can just cast a temporary lockdown on turn 3 or a Beza on turn 4, and black-blue just doesn't have that. This is no Beza. This is a good card, but no Beza. Jesus. Imagine lockdown, I would just win the game on the spot. I would go to 9 and then they would lose. Alright, let's see what you got. Maybe I can take their last spell. I can. And pass. And maybe if they draw badly here, I can win. Potentially. I do need a second blue though, I'm just realizing. Yeah. I have 18 blue sources essentially. I have 17 actual blue ones and 1 cavern, so a lot of blue sources. Enter the Enigma. Get punished for casting. Oh, Crash Through, yeah. Isn't Crash Through just way better than Enter the Enigma? Giving all you guys trample. I'm at 3, so I'm just dead. Okay. Yeah, I mean, any spell there was good though, even though they didn't draw a card. No, yeah, I mean, they had the nuts on the play. I didn't have a lockdown because I'm not playing lockdowns, so GG. That's fine. Change is good. Blood out is bad. Shielded's Edict kind of iffy. Go for the Throat is pretty medium too, but yeah. I'm on the play. Change can come in. And Duress, Tidebinder, I guess, are the other options. Tidebinder. What do I cut though? Tactics? How good is Tactics? Maybe Tactics just worse than Duress, and I play a couple Tidebinders. With Tactics, they don't actually, they just have Swift Speed. Yeah, Tactics is actually not that, like, they have 12 targets on average. They have 8 red creatures and Cutter. And Duress has like, what, 32 targets? Something like that? 30 targets, so the rest is gonna be better. This seems okay. I could have maybe another Tidebinder over maybe the blue dragon. Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good one. I think I'm keeping land here. Like, I already have all the spells. I just want to make land drops. Hey, if I'm not winning this game with this hand, that would be a bad sign for the deck. On the play, counterspell, removal, Tidebinder, Regent. Hmm. Hmm. Could try to set up for a Regent down the line. So they're gonna hit me for 2 here? Put me to 17. Next turn I have Tidebinder. I'm gonna let it resolve. I don't know. Tricky. If they cast a spell, I'm killing the Swift Spear, I guess. Yeah. Looks like they have more red cards they can cast, but choosing not to. This is just all they're committing, I guess. They're dealing me a ton with those. We'll see, I guess. Yeah. They're kind of playing perfectly around my hand. I mean, I could have chosen to counter this, right? Like, it's on me. Now they hold up Spell Pierce for my sweeper. Well, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I got greedy, I think. I got greedy. Burst Lightning. I guess I'll kill off the Otter. I was thinking they'd just bait me with this talent. I don't know. Now I said if I'm gonna lose this game, but I feel like now I'm like kind of likely to actually lose this game. The way they're not running out their important cards that I'm trying to. Like the Tidebinder just looks awkward as hell here. Put me to 5. Okay. Could have just like a Gearhawk would have been kind of nice this game. Or Obliterator, I could have. Obliterator would have also been pretty good this game. Now they can just play Cutter and get me. Or stock up, man. Yeah, now I'm just gonna lose the long game because I don't have any card advantage. I can disrupt the Storm Chaser's talent trigger, I guess, but they have 5 cards in hand, so they missed the land drop already, so they have spells. I need card advantage ASAP. Stock up, Gearhulk, River Regent, stock up, alright. Okay. 3 cards in hand. I might just take... I should have played the Underground River, me idiota. Now I'm taking a damage from the Gearhulk. What do I do? Just take both fatties? I need to take the Gearhulk 100%, right? And the question is... Nah, I'm just gonna take both fatties. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, that was a punt. Inexperience with the deck, I guess. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta take that, and then they can kill me with the Burst Lightning. And because I have exactly 1 less life, I'm actually gonna die to it. It's painful. That was painful. That was brutal. Alright, GG. Would have been interesting to play that one out. The hand wasn't that great against my Gearhawk. I would have at least started to attack with that. Didn't play the river before. Why did you not? Alright, I didn't. GG. Play first. Okay, liking this. Me like this. Yeah. Maybe you can play Esper Dragons. I did think about that. But the problem with that is then why are you not playing Jessica Dragons, you know? Jessica Dragons already proving itself to be a real deck. You know, why are you not just doing that? Killing this. I can kill both of them, that's nice. This card has been surprisingly good. Like, used it twice already for 3 mana to kill 2 things. That's really nice. Noise. It's really nice. Okay. Oh. Well. Sure. This card is also quite nice against the Pixie decks, because the interaction for it is bad. You can keep those. It feels good to have a game like this, where things are going well after that Underground River punt. I think the best way to beat the Steel Cutter deck in blue-black is probably to be pretty proactive yourself. Like something like Indomitable Slasher or Preacher of the Schism. Just have creatures that do something. Because the Izzet Prowess deck doesn't have much interaction. It just plays a bunch of Prowess shenanigans. So if you have like Sheoldred, Preacher, maybe Gearhulk, lifelinking creatures that can raise the cutter maybe. That provide value like Preacher, provide chump blockers. Stuff like that. I guess I'm killing one of these. Passing a turn. Yeah. Another Kirin. More others. This fun stops now. We played a Regent to bounce 2 others. It's actually also pretty nice. Probably going to do that. Yeah, why not? Well, let's do that. Oh, my opponent has to deal with 2 gigantic creatures. Nice. All right. Beat Pixie at least. That's a tier 1 deck. Okay. Freeze Dust ahead. Too clunky. Intimidation Tactics. I think a little too bad here. Change the equations okay, but I'm gonna bench it for now. Bloodout and Edict are important. The rest I don't know yet. Obstinate Bailoff, come in, my friend. Tidebinder is pretty good. Negate's definitely better than change the equation. Not definitely, but it does counter this town ain't big enough, which is an important spell. Duress also does have some amount of targets. You really want to hit the talent though. Talent is a nice hit with it, and on the play I can hit the talent, but not on the draw. I think Tidebinder just all of them. I like all my dragons. Just gonna have the gate maybe. I do have 4 cheap counters already, I guess. Maybe the res on the draw against Kaito. I'm just a little worried that my Gearhulk is a little too slow, but the card is good in the matchup, theoretically. Could cut something like Go for the Throat, maybe. I do have a lot of cheap removal. 5, 7, 8, 9, the region to sweep. Maybe I cut an Exhale. Counters, you don't want to have too many of them. Like the Pixie deck's so lean and efficient and cheap. Yeah, I think cutting an Exhale makes sense. All right, let's get the Obstinate Baloth into the Hopeless Nightmare. That would be nice. Cheesy free win against Pixie. Okay, well, I have to keep. Okay. Maybe we can snack the Nightmare of the Duress. Oh, we can. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a spell to get back with the talent, so it's less threatening. But they have a lot of pressure here. But I have Georg to stabilize down the line, which is nice. Ugh. Frustrating. Now they start to have lots of annoying top decks, let's say. Doing it main phase, they have Distonate big enough and Kirin nowadays, so like you should really not wait with your removal if they're tapped out. There you go, drawing a card immediately. That punishes me. Ooh, that's a nice draw. That's a perfect draw. Okay. Running hot here. Running hot. That was the freaking most awesome draw ever. Tidebinder. Nice. Now we can block their 3-2. Take 4, go to 8. Okay, they immediately sacrifice. I mean, it doesn't lose abilities for what it's worth, so they could have done the scrying on the end step. But okay. Okay. Who am I to tell you what to do? Yeah, just get the lifelinker down. And my hand's good enough. I don't think I want to replace any of them. Could have maybe replaced the removal. Don't really need removal when I have lifelink. Like, a better card would be the Regent, Stalk Up. But I could also hit worse cards, of course. Tricky. Am I gonna get roped out? What's happening? You played really fast beforehand, so I feel like I'm getting roped out here. They can't believe they're losing to the Dragons deck. How is anybody playing blue-black control? Are you crazy? I mean, I can agree with that, to be fair. Someone has to be crazy to play this deck. Are you just gonna hardcast Kaito here? Is that what's happening? What's happening? Oh, they have that. Okay. Sure. They tapped a little awkwardly there, but okay. So now I guess I will have to counter the Storm Chaser's talent. Maybe Auto Tapper messed them up, right? Like they might have wanted to play the talent again. I have to say the River Region, the 4-mana draw spell, like in Standard for a long time, a 4-mana draw spell would have been sort of the gold standard, right? We had Glimmer of Genius in the past, we had Memory Deluge, you know. But I feel like the standard has become so crazy fast that paying 4 mana to draw cards doesn't feel that great anymore. I could kill this, they can't protect it with the Kirin. I have lifelink, I mean, the damage doesn't really matter as long as I gain 4 every turn. Cut down. But like, I don't really have time to okay, going for the double? Nice. Oh, right, they draw a card there. Oops. Oh, I should have killed this in response. Stupid me. That was a punt. I should have killed this one with this on the stack. I was too excited about being able to blow them out here, but... yeah. Oh well, oh well. Okay, they give up anyways. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, sure. Alright. Let's take that steel cutter. Let's take revenge. Ah, I see. Alright, perfect. I can counter the steam core. Nice. Nice. That was a really good intimidation tactics. Taking the 2-drop out of the curve for 1 mana on the draw, that was pretty sick. I guess a cut down would have done the same, but it's pretty sick regardless. I'm gonna chill on the stock up. I'm gonna keep holding up this. The way I lose this game is I go stock up and they do something nasty. Like have another Scholar or a Tearza or something. Oh, they can just recommission. Right. I'm an idiot. And they have the land too, so they can play around another. I don't know. That was stupid. That was a bit of a yikes. All right, whatever. Okay. Take this. Yeah, considering all of that, I should have stocked up, I think. Oh, no, not like this. I guess I lost. It went from looking pretty good to looking absolutely horrendous. The recommission I knew about. I skipped my turn 3. Why did this gain so many counters? How many cards did they draw this turn? Oh, it had 1 from recommission, true, and then 1 from the map, 1 from the Proft, okay. Interesting. The river region is pretty good here, I guess. But I only have tap lands, unfortunately, so I need to take the swamp. Yikes. Which doesn't allow me to attack. So I take 10 in the air, 11. Then I play my Regent, bounce Oculus, Steam Core. They play Steam Core again, cast an Oculus. Then I have to draw a River Regent, wipe the entire board. Yeah, I guess that's a plan. Yeah, I mean, a couple... They top decked really well with that helping hand, and the turn 3 I maybe could have done something differently. But honestly, even if I stock up on turn 3, I don't know. I might just lose this game. Steam Course, the Scholar is a hell of a card. Okay, if I draw the River Region, I might be okay. But if I don't, I'm definitely not okay. They seem to have something under this. Like a fear of missing out, maybe. No, whatever. If it's an Oculus, I'm dead. That's fine. It's a Tearza, okay. Yeah, I'll trade with the Tearza. Alright, now I have to draw the River Regent. They rebuild, I draw River Regent, I wipe the board. Then I draw another no, sorry, not River Regent. Well, that one's fine too. Any of the 2 dragons, actually. Any of the 2 dragons I take here. Anything else, I lose. Deadly Cover Up. That's a card that Blue-Black has access to that I had to shave to make room for the dragons. A little surprised at discarding. I guess no. I guess discarding the Oculus makes some sense because you do only have to discard 1 card then. Reality kicks in and we die. I wasn't technically dead, but I'm not gonna continue. Like at this point, the river region is not even good enough on the next turn because I only have -6/-6, so the Oculus survives. So there's like I'm super dead. Okay, Gearhulk, I think in this matchup specifically is not very good. I like change the equation. I like what do I like? I like cut down, blot out, shielded edict. Edict's pretty bad against Siren. 3 steps ahead is a bit clunky. Anoint is great. Vacuum, of course. And then Tightburn is pretty okay too. Tightburn is pretty good actually, yeah. Maybe cut down. The duress is interesting. Don't love the duress that much because they're kind of good at top decking, and a lot of their card velocity cards also are creatures. So like you're taking, what are you taking? Like Helping Hand, a Spell Pierce, a Destroy Evil. It's not like wow, so good, you know. So I might rather have Negate. Maybe I want a Gearhulk. Cut down's also reasonable, but I do have 4 Exhale. The Gearhulk just gets overpowered by the Oculus pretty easily and doesn't really... The Gearhulk's fine in a scrappy game. But you have to get to the scrappy game first and foremost. Yeah, maybe Duress is fine. I could play Negate, I guess. One Negate, one Duress. On the draw, I'll bring in Duress again. On the draw, I like discard spells a lot more than on the play. Cool. I might keep this on the draw, but on the play I can't. Okay. Gotta be a Way of Chandra. That's a pretty commonly played sideboard card. Mulligan to 5 against what I would say looks like a bad matchup. I don't love it. Proft is pretty good against my deck. My fair game, like my deck is very fair, and their deck is incredibly unfair. So I just don't like my matchup. Do I take just all the spells here? Do I take land and regent? What's gonna happen next turn? A scholar? I could just slam a 4/4, but the 4/4 is just so bad against Oculus. Type, yeah, I don't know. This is, yeah, not great. If the deck didn't have Oculus, I would have a chance maybe, but like Deadly Cover Up would be a huge card that I could play to make this matchup better. But there's really no room. When you play these dragons, there really isn't much room for something like that. You could cut the Gearhulk for some cover-ups, but cover-up is so bad into the red decks, it's just way too expensive. That is the problem with the cover-up. Maybe I was meant to just take a land there. Tightburner looks a little weak here. Winter Night Star is also a very nice one. Having a second vacuum is going to do a lot of work, of course. That's definitely like the best card you could have, I guess. You know what? They don't have a thing in the grave. I think I'm just gonna play this to slow them down. It's a really weak usage of Tidebinder, but it's kind of good against Spell Pierce. Like if they have a Spell Pierce, they're really gonna get me. And they're gonna accumulate a lot of damage. I guess now they can map on the Fear, which is, if that works out, that's also bad. Looks like they just want to reanimate the Fear. No, nothing? It looks like they have counter magic at that point. Like this is just a clear normalize or a negate or disdain for stroke. Not using the map, very, very clear takeover. Yeah, very obvious. Okay, I'm going to type into that one. It looks like negate. It can't be normalized at this point because otherwise they would have had stop. Okay. Yeah, they're just holding up negate, which Basically, they got reduced to 2 mana per turn for the last 2 turns, so that's not too bad. I really hope they don't hit a spell. Okay, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Like, this was rough. Now my Tightbind is really bad. At least it's just a 3/4, not the ability of the Fear on it. Okay, yeah. Gonna get this countered, likely. No! Okay. Really, yeah? That's how you want to roll? You want to let that one resolve? Wow. Alright, I think I discard the Regent here. Yeah. What I could also do... No. Yeah, no, I could do that. I could just discard Regent, like I'm discarding this. Let's just do that. Let's just do that and untap. Okay. Now I could -1/-1 on everything. They might pop a counter spell, which I can counter back. And then they hit me for 3. I go to 6, and I go for this. I think what I'd rather do... I think I'd rather just go for the Throat of Fear and take another hit from these flyers. And we'll see next turn what we're gonna do. We know that they have a negate, right? It's very obvious they have negate. It can't be normalized. I guess it might be Disdainful Stroke, but let's just put them on negate. It's not Spell Pierce, it's negate, because otherwise they would have popped the map earlier. Yeah, it's negate. And that means we could technically resolve the 6-drop next turn. Just saying. That's a possibility. Wow, that negate. I can't believe it. I guess I showed him this one. Don't show them the sweeper. Didn't have a second negate. Okay. Oh, they found an Oculus. Huh. Can wipe their board. Probably a good idea. All things considered. It's a lot of sirens. I could also do -1/-1. Leave them with the Fear, but then I have to use a removal from the Fear. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I could also play this and like bounce the Fear and put on a lot of pressure. That's 6. I might actually die to removal. Alright, let's see. Let's see. With 2 cards left. They have 2 cards in the Winter Night Stories and a couple maps. I also have a Restless Reef for what it's worth. River Region is not that good against Manifest Dread, because if I bounce the Dread, they will just get the card to hand. Oh, wow, yeah, that's such a sick combination. Recommission plus Winter Night. Oh my god, it's so good. Ooh. Like, with Helping Hand, you can't do this, right? Helping Hand enters tapped, so you can't cast Winter Night for 1. But with Recommission, you can, which is just ridiculously good. Okay. Okay, it's not good for me. I might still have to play the Region, just so that I have a game plan to win the game somehow, some way. They can just hardcast the Oculus at this point. Alright, they didn't play a land for what it's worth. Another Winter Night. The other option is to kill the Oculus. And hope they don't have another reanimation spell. And then draw 3 cards. Try to play a grindy game. If I play the Region and bounce, they play an Oculus, I kill the Oculus. That's a game on winning, isn't it? That's a game on winning. Let's do it. Whatever. Maybe we can cheese them out. Like, then I can kill the Oculus, attack for 10, they go to 1. And they just have a 2-2 in play. That is a game I'm winning, I think. I don't know. I mean, they can then play maybe another Oculus. Okay, looks like they have... If they have another recommission, I'm pretty dead here. Because then they have 3 creatures, that's just a little too many. They have Helping Hand. I guess it's the same outcome, really. And Ghost Vacuum would have won me this game, for sure. I mean, if the 2-2 is just a 2-2, then they just have 5 damage in play, right? Oh. Wow. What a draw. How are we feeling about Spell Pierce, guys? How are we feeling about Spell Pierce? Come on, don't slow roll me like that. What? Do they have a bounce off? I guess they have something. They have maybe a bounce off, huh? Alright. Yeah. Bouncing the River Regent. A lot more, sure. Okay. Okay. And it's just got Oculus that can grind for sure. Two cards in hand. Didn't want to cast your Winter Night Stories. If that isn't sus, I don't know what is. That is very sus to me. Didn't want to pop the map. What the heck's going on here? Is this a Tightbinder? Jeskai Oculus with Tightbinder? This is so sus. Like, especially the free mana, like the map, come on. It has to be Tightbinder, okay. The best way I play around Tightbinder is by just passing the turn, I think. What? They have nothing? Oh my god, what are you doing? What? Why did you not pop your map? Why did you not cast a store? So they have negate, I guess. So I made the exact like wrong play. Tilt. I'm just gonna kill this now. I don't want them to reduce the River Knight. Oh. Well, I have a blocker, I guess. If they negate this, I have a blocker. I have the Reef. Why the heck did you keep up negate? For what? I don't understand. You now have a 6-7 in hand. Why did you not just use your mana to draw some cards? Like, what if I'm playing the River Region there? They didn't have Tightbinder, obviously. I'm just so weirded out by this whole sequence of plays. Like, are you kidding me? That was so weird. I feel like I played correctly, but I mean, my opponent just like giga bluffed me, I guess. If it was intentional. Either it was intentional and it was very, very smart, or it was not intentional and then it was pretty bad. Brutal. Like, what the heck? Maybe they had both negate and one disdainful stroke? Is that what happened here? Just had both? Okay. Oh, man. Alright, well. Time to figure it out, I guess. No, they just didn't have it, huh? Didn't have it. Then they just Giga bluffed me or played badly. One of the two. I can activate 2 reefs next turn, right? 5, 7, 10, yeah. They have 1 blocker, and I have flying, 6 damage, and 2 4/4s. Okay, that seems like that should be enough. Wow, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game, what a game, what a game. Got it. Let's go. Whew. Okay. 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 They really don't have much interaction. Just flood more and a couple counter spells. Okay, I think negate's worse than the rest. Oops, sorry. Honestly, the exhale might actually be worse than cut down because like most of the things are cut downable anyways. So the difference isn't really given. What did I just add to the deck? The cut down? The counterspell is also worse on the draw as is Tidebinder. I think I'm gonna cut a River Regent. Add a cut down. The River Regent, big sorcery play. Doesn't excite me that much here. I don't know, maybe it's wrong. Okay. Change the equation is also a little iffy. I think it's good enough though. I mean, it does counter like recommissions. All those cheap spells. It also counters, yeah, it's definitely good here. It also counters Chandra. It counters the Terza too. Alright, fair enough. I'm gonna do this. And then turn 3 I can play the Reef. Oh, they do have Spell Pierce. They kept on top. I think I'm just gonna take this. This could get annoying down the line. And the other option would be Helping Hand, I guess. Ooh. Huge draw. They kept on top. So what did they keep? A Steam Core? Fear of missing out, protected with a Spell Pierce. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I mean... you know what? Actually, no, I'm gonna do this. So I don't want to Helping Hand here. Because I want the Helping Hand to be just rotten in the hand. And this way I can trade the Spell Pierce for the change. Yeah, that was the right play. So I don't want the Helping Hand there, because then I would have to counter the Helping Hand. And now I can just play Vacuum. And Vacuum clean the board state. I can also kill this for 1 mana. GG. Play my tap land. Oh, is that nice? That's pretty good. They can get rid of the Helping Hand. Oh, they kept the other 2. You get a nice hand, huh? Kept the other 2. Alrighty then. I'm gonna tap out for this. I don't want to get it countered. I would like a Go for the Throats, if I may. But it's okay. Yep. I'm not happy about this. Not happy. Not a happy boy. Alright, I'm taking 5. Oh, sorry, I'm taking 3, right? Okay. A bit more chill, I guess. Take that. Oh, all these counter spells. No. Well, I guess I'm just gonna play my Tidebinder as a good old flash blocker. That actually works pretty well. 2 hard counters essentially in hand. I feel like I just have to buy time here. Perfect. Submit 0. The Ghost Vacuum is just MVP here. So good. Get rid of Terza. Just pass the turn. I know they have spells in hand, so I could have just cast a draw free there, but I also do want to hold up my exile if possible. Also, the vacuum down the line will get me a ton of creatures, which is a kill condition in itself. I think I'm going to be patient with my draw spell here. I'm kind of feeling a negate. Maybe I should just play this as a 6-7, to be honest. Again, I don't have to be in a rush. My opponent has a 5-turn clock here. I guess they can into the flood more my Ghost Vacuum, theoretically. What if I just pop it and get all these guys back? That's going to be pretty damn good. Like, how am I not winning that game? The only way I lose, I guess, is Tidebinder. That's gonna get negated. I'm gonna counter back at this point. My excel's looking weaker and weaker. Just these two, I guess. I mean, exile can still counter a free drop. Maybe just take Regent. Exile looking pretty mid right now. Yeah, let's go. No! Why did I not think of that card? Oh my god. Oh no. What? You stupid Arne. Why you do this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Use your brain. Jesus. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Sure. I guess I can play Region and bounce 2 of them. Oh, they have negate? No? I can just bounce everything, I guess. I could also pop my vacuum, which gives me a bazillion creatures. It's probably the move. This is a lot of stuff. The one worry I have with this is that Into the Floodmoor could bounce the Oculus. Alright. Well, I guess it was the right play. Cool! Damn. We lost to the Prowess deck. I punted with the Underground River. But otherwise, pretty good. Pretty good for a Brewski, huh? Beat Jeska Oculus, that's a real deck. Beat Pixie, another real deck. Definitely want the second vacuum. I mean, I was really good in this matchup. Jeez. Yeah, I was really good. It just also messes with Terza and Fear, stopping Delirium, and then actually doing this at the late game. Like, what the heck? Like, the vacuum extra text is kind of relevant here. This is... yeah. Nice. Very, very nice. Oh, man. Cool. Blue-Black Dragons. I mean, I'd be cheering them on if anybody would have the guts to play a blue-black dragons control deck at the regional championship in Bologna. I would seriously head up to you. All right, well, it was a pleasure playing with the dragons. They didn't disappoint, I can say that much. I think it's also fair to say that there's very many weaknesses that can be exploited that blue black unfortunately has still, and the dragons won't solve those weaknesses either. I mentioned them in the introduction. Yeah, in any case, I had a blast. I hope you had a blast too. Thank you for watching as always. See you next time. Take care, guys.